All right, the trifecta joins us in studio. The mortgage guy, the legal guy, and the real estate guy all combined into one, and the radio show host, Michael Gaddis, joins us in studio. What's up, man?
Not much.
Moving and shaking. So I think it's so important to always reference that with you because there's 20,000 real estate licenses. I bet you could count on one hand how many of them are skilled at both finance and the legal side of things as well, which is a little scary. Not to say that as a realtor you should be an attorney, but the way that they give legal advice at times is, as you know, concerning.
Well, they do it all the time, and people will tell me, "Well, this is what the contract says, and this is what it means." I'm like, "Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Are you practicing law without a license? Because I think you are."
You saw this a lot in the distressed market years ago as well. I mean, because there's a lot of legal implications dealing with the banks. Challenging. Anyway, so how's the market doing right now? Tell us about the real estate game.
No, it's doing okay. It's I think the price values in some areas are starting to regress a little bit, but overall, it's still holding pretty firm.
Are you bullish or bearish?
I would say bullish.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah.
So we should be confident this time next year. You and I are sitting down. Values.
I think they
Depends.
will, I mean, it goes both ways. I think it depends on the micro community you're in, because some communities are more, more apt to go down, some are more apt to go up. But I think, I was kind of bearish a few years ago, and I regret it now. So I'm like, you know what? You got to grab the bull by its horns and go.
Well, we don't have a crystal ball. It's hard for me to imagine the real estate market not softening, but it's not only about the community, the price points, right? Different price points in those communities. I mean, I think if you have a $300,000 or $400,000 house in San Diego, it's going to get swooped up because of investors, first-time home buyers. You get a higher price range, you might see a different story. You have a new listing in Palm Springs.
Yes, I do.
Tell us.
Let me tell you something.
I've seen it.
Let me tell you something. This is, I don't like to use this word very often, quintessential Palm Springs home.
Quintessential.
When you think of Palm Springs homes, you think of this house. And I mean that because when you walk into this house, from the time you open the front door and you see what's inside, I mean, Palm Springs is notorious for having, different types of architecture over there. And when you walk into this house and you see the pool area back there, it just blows your mind.
So you're obviously here in America's finest city. How do you take a property from Palm Springs and market it there, here, internationally? What's
Palm
the
Springs
angle?
is an interesting market because it's not all owner-occupied homes. A lot of the people who live in Palm Springs or own homes in Palm Springs come from other communities. So what I use technology a lot when I market the homes, and that's what I did with this particular property. I had a Matterport camera go in there and do an interactive 3D virtual walkthrough, aerial photos, all types of stuff. And what I do is I'll take that interactive walkthrough and I'll boost it through social media channels anywhere I want. The house next door, for example, the person who bought it was from Minnesota. So what I can do is I can market anywhere in the Minnesota metro area by boosting this Matterport 3D walkthrough, and it allows somebody there who might be thinking about it, hey, to actually walk through this house and say, you know what, it would be nice to own a home in Palm Springs.
It's fascinating because the world of selling real estate's changed dramatically. Technology's changed. Information transfer has changed, and when you talk about someone's biggest investment, where historically put a house up, put it on the MLS, put a sign in the yard, have an open house. Now you're doing 3D virtual tours. You're taking those tours into social media. You're targeting people in Minnesota. I mean, the game is just changed.
It's incredible, and there are a lot of agents who are not moving forward with that.
Most.
Yeah, they're still staying in that stagnant, the traditional ways, the old school ways. But you can't do that to sell a house anymore. You've got to move with technology, and the internet has opened up possibilities beyond comprehension.
Now, certainly not the high-end stuff, right?
That's right. You need to embrace them, and that's what I do.
So you're taking on this role as a radio show host again, coming up here in September. What do we have to look forward to?
Well, we're going to continue talking more about real estate loans and finance, and we're going to talk about all different areas, micro aspects of them. The radio is great because it allows me an opportunity to really get into detail about things that you and I can't get into detail about.
Yeah, you get to kind of, well, not that we're wearing ties, we get to loosen the tie a little bit and tell people like the raw story versus what people hear on like the fluffy stuff on the mainstream media. So Michael's got a great show. One of the things I love about your show is you always bring on these phenomenal guests.
Right.
So I encourage you, if you are a business professional, legal, finance, real estate, business owner, whatever it may be, you got to reach out and connect with Michael Gaddis and explore having him on the show. I mean, you share great stories of the community. Gaddis, thanks for coming in. Thanks for teaching us about this luxury market, your Palm Springs property, the trifecta. Always great having you on the show.
Yeah, and don't forget, people, look at that. You can look at that Palm Springs house. I have a specific website for it. It's 1125 East Granvia, Valmonte.com. That place is amazing. Look at it.
I've already seen it, man. It is.
They remodeled the whole damn thing. It was built in 1935, 2006. They remodeled the whole thing. The bathroom is like a luxurious spa.
Quintessential.
The backyard's like a resort.
All right, brother. All right, that is all for our guest today. Thank you so much. Stick around. We're going to give you some parting words here coming up in just a moment.